Flight data, face cam is off. Alrighty. Our apologies, guys. This has been a interesting bit. There we go. Okay, so looks like we're good now. Face cam. Why is face cam not working? Are we not plugged in on face cam? We should be. Let's give it a quick peek and find out what's going on. That goes here, goes around here, goes all the way over to here. Oh, that would be why. We are indeed not plugged in. Well, give us just a second here. We'll rectify that situation. There we go. You got my face again. Okay. Welcome back, guys. Looks like we got everything running. We're good. Got our devices ready, and we gonna go flying. So On Air is having a Halloween event, if you're not aware. We're the 16th, so we want to get this done quick. I'm not sure how long it's running for, but we're going to start doing the rare stuff first and work our way backwards to the easier stuff, because it's actually a cooperative thing, and people are going to tend to want to do the easy flights, so we'll do the hard ones. That being said, here we are out in the Himalayas. We've got a few new additions to the flight simulator. One of the new additions is I've got a desktop Aviator 430 hooked up. It doesn't look too bad. It's not top of the line, obviously, but it seems to be doing the trick. You can see here we've got VNLK to YNKT, so we're pretty straightforward. It's a pretty tricky spot we're in, but the good news is we do have a jet engine to help us get out of here. So there we are. Give you a good view of our Floatiac, November 3773 Sierra. That's our bird that's going to help us get out of here. So before we run the battery down a second time, let's get this birdie started. We're going to go fuel. Left side is on, right tank is on, fuel shutoff is off. We're going to go ahead and verify throttle position, verify prop is full. We're able to get to power. Awesome. All that stuff is ready to go. We're going to turn on our auxiliary bus. We're going to verify beacon is on, nav lights are on. I'm going to open up this little window here. Clear prop. Pump's going to go to on. Starter's going to go to on. Ignition's going to go to on. We're watching for 9. We got 9.
Your flight will be
Introduce fuel.
when you land and shut down the engines.
And reduce the fuel pump to standby. And we're just going to watch that we don't peak out. 770, and we're on the climb back down. We're good. So we didn't overdo it. Came close, but we didn't overdo it. Alright. So parking brake is off. Taxi light can go ahead and go on. What do we want to do here? We want to set our barometer. Is set, and you can see we are 9,000 feet in the air. Gonna make sure we turn on our generator. Avionics bus 2 is on. Alright. Now we're going to go ahead and turn on our inertial separator while we're on the ground. We don't want to kick up any FOD into our intake. Alright. So, now that our brakes are good, going to go ahead and back ourselves up. If our brakes are going to cooperate. Brakes are not going to cooperate. Had this problem a couple of times now where the floatiac wants to get stuck. We'll go ahead and rotate ourselves around here. So as you can see, there is no way we are taking off westbound. Eastbound. Be right into the side of the mountain here. We're having this problem where we're stuck again. Parking brake is released. Let that settle down a little bit. We're going to go to full power. Just nudge the throttle a little bit. Try to rock the plane loose. And everything here. Come on. Okay, we are stuck. Like, pushing back doesn't even work. There we go. Now we got some action. And we're just gonna keep rolling it right out. Alright. Strobe lights, we're gonna take the active. We're gonna kick up 2 on the flaps. Alright, so we're first notch of flaps, we're gonna kick over the hill. And here we go. Airspeed's alive. 50. 60. We're just gonna pull it off gentle.
Airborne time
Don't
bomb.
sink. Don't
We are airborne.
sink. Don't sink.
Brakes, gears up.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Just watch that end too.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't
Flap
sink.
up. And we're just going to slowly accelerate our way out of the valley. Turn the landing lights off. Nav strobe and beacon are still on. And we're just going to work our way up. We're going to fly up this little valley here. That should help a little bit. Alright, so there is a bit of a bug still where my Bravo doesn't want to trigger on the Kodiak right away. Not sure why. But we're going to set the altitude for 1500. We're going to set a vertical climb. Engage vertical climb for 1,000. And then we're going to check heading. Heading we're going to set for 210. And we're going to set our climb for 110, I think would actually be better. Alright, there we are. Go ahead and engage the autopilot. Hey. Okay, why is that not engaging? Let's go ahead and turn on half bank. Yaw damper, and autopilot. That airspeed should hold at 111. And if we need to, we can always circle to avoid that mountain. I'm going to turn on our landing light because we're getting a little close to the ground there. Alright, I don't like it. I said I don't like it. Go ahead and keep that left turn going. Alright, so we did clear. We'll continue the flight to the south. Okay. We're going to set our climb speed for 110. And it looks like we should be good to start a right turn. We can go ahead and turn our landing light back off. Want to turn to the west. And up here in the thinner atmosphere, let's see if we can't bring the prop back to 2100 and see if that helps our speed. Oh, a little bit. There we go. It's 2100. 10,000 feet. Let's turn on the oxygen system. Also turn on our pitot. Don't need our inertial separator anymore, and we can go ahead and turn our passengers and our pilot heat on. So we're still climbing up. Cleared that mountain pretty close. And this is the thing with the mountain flying in the Himalayas, is it's tight fit. Not much to say about it other than that. It is a tight fit. Alrighty. If we check out our on-air map, we're probably not far from Everest. I think Everest is up actually to our north just a little bit. BNKT, I wonder if there's any weather. MEDAR 22, winds calm. Okay. Cloud base at 2,000 feet, and there's a few of them. Okay. So we're not doing too bad. Getting clear of what we need to worry about. So we'll kind of point our nose towards that gap there. Now we'll turn our landing light back on because we're within 1,000 feet of the ground again. And we'll just try and steer that vector point into the gap. I should about do it. So we've limited our drag as much as possible. We're climbing at our best rate. There we go. And we'll set the CDI so that it can see where we're trying to head for. I suspect our timing is off. No. Real weather, or sorry, real time. And real weather. Which is good. So we did clear the gap. True airspeed 137. Distance of 60K. Ground speed of 125. And now that we're clear of that gap, let's go ahead and turn ourselves back to the north and see if we can't intercept our GPS course. Okay. Length at 10,000, altitude is 4,000. So if we can get, you know what, I think we're okay at 13.5. So we'll actually, 13.5. Once we climb up to 13.5, we'll be alright. And some really pretty airspace up here though. Couple of things we want to keep an eye on. Our fuel quantity is full. Fuel flow is 300 pounds per minute because we are full throttle trying to climb this thing up. We're climbing at 450 feet per minute. And yeah, Toby, it's a very dark flight. Sun's actually, as you can see by the mountains there, the sun's on its way up. We're early morning in the Hemis. Go ahead and shut flight plan section off so we can see the map. Not quite halfway through our flight yet. We are running full throttle, or as close to it as we can get without redlining anything. One of the things Sim Workshop did when they updated the Kodiak and got the Floatiac ready was to make the engine a lot more fragile. It's a lot easier to break it now. So up here in the thin air, we're keeping about 2.5 to 3 degrees pitch up. And that kind of keeps, although our speed doesn't climb too much, probably helps us a little bit with our lift profile. One thing we will do, Twitch chat. I'm going to go ahead and connect up to our Twitch chat. And we'll set that down here so we can see if you guys are talking to us. Crossing through into the airspace now for Kathmandu. And you can see we're starting to get into a little more heavily populated area. The mountains are less hostile here. The airport's still going to be at 4,500 feet with a 10,000 foot runway, so I don't think we'll use all of it. Pretty sure we'll be able to get this slowed down. Top of descent. Although it's telling me it's going to be top of descent, I'm going to ignore that. Because top of descent there would put us right through the mountain. We don't really want to do that. It's only 100 miles between two airports, so it's nice quick. Yeah, Kathmandu is... so what we're doing is we're carrying Yeti fur for the on-air event, the Halloween event for on-air. The more interesting landing is when we go back to Lukla, or Lukla? Lakla? Lukla? Lukla. When we go back to Lukla to pick up our next load. When we go back, it's one of those mountain approaches where you can only take off in one direction. And we should be able to have a nice visual approach. Not enough cloud to really worry about. There we go. So yeah, we've got a pretty good profile. You can see the red of the sun coming up. We'll be flying into the sun on our way back. And actually, one of the things we can do to make this a little bit easier, go to our map options, turn on our terrain, shows us the topographical, go to our next rad, we shouldn't have any weather, and we don't need the legend, so we're good in that. Don't need to see the airways. So we're good. The other thing is, ground speed's now 160, just shy of 160. We've got about 15 minutes left in this leg, with a distance of 40 miles to go. So like I said, we're doing flight Yeti Fur from Lukla down to Kathmandu, then we're going to go back to pick up a second load. Kind of curious to see what effect we have on the event. On air is showing 25.2% for the Yeti Fur. So I want to see if we can't push that up. Or at least to see how much we affect it. We've got 3 flights on board. We've got 207 pounds, 268 pounds, and 172 pounds. So that's not too bad. And again, we had to dip around just because of the way the mountains were set up. It was a bit of an extreme approach. Thanks, Toby. Have a good one. What is that? Some sort of large building there. We got a beautiful night flight going here. Nice part about having a jet powering the turboprop is that at least we can keep the power up as we do this. Compress the air enough. Piston aircraft would be having a heck of a time up here. Jet aircraft, unfortunately, aren't eligible for the Halloween event. So can't do that either. Go here to on-air manager so we can kind of get an idea. And we're about 10 minutes out. Kind of see what procedures there are. Let's go ahead and select an approach. They're all VOR approaches. Let's go ahead and clear. Go back. There we go. Kind of hard to see stuff. It'd be really nice if this glare wasn't such a factor, but it is. Sky's getting red behind us. And to get down here, we used a magic candy that got us here pretty quick. Gives us 13 hops during the Halloween event. So we use those judiciously. And try to aim for Witch's Toenails on Boston as our, at Boston as our end of event, because I wouldn't mind ending relatively close to home. But for now, we're on the far side of the world and we'll enjoy it. Got a bunch of narrow stuff to do, so we'll do the Yeti fur. And we'll see if we can make an impact in the Yeti fur, and then we'll bring it over to the vampire teeth. Vampire fangs are at 32%, so that must be a fun flight over in Transylvania. I suspect it's actually Romania, but we'll see. Alright, so we're showing we're inside 5 minutes. Runways 20 and 2 are our options. So we'll go ahead and set up for the visual approach. Set our heading bug. To 20. Four, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. We're getting there. Pause, inhibit. We're up to 1 hour of flight time on this aircraft. And the oxygen is still full. So we're doing alright. We do have some cloud cover ahead of us though. Alright, let's go ahead and open up the menu. Let's go to our map settings. Orientation. Let's do track up. There we go. Something's caught. There we go. Alrighty. So we're ready for our first zoom in. And you can see now we've got lots of clearance. Let's go ahead and lower our altitude. Let's go down to 8,500. And I think we'll do it by speed again. We'll descend at 100 knots. So go ahead and slow up. We're 7 miles. We should be able to see the field. It's an international airport, so it should have lots of visibility. So we'll just come back to flight idle. And below 10,000 as we get into the rough stuff again, we'll go ahead and turn on the initial separator. Go ahead and zoom in one more time. So that puts the runway kind of just ahead of us there in that blue patch. We're going to go ahead and grab that altitude and lower us down to 6,500. So let's bring that down to 5,500. There we are. I'm descending in at 100 knots. We can go ahead and lower a notch of flaps, and that's going to increase our descent rate. And another one. Going to really increase our descent rate now. Alrighty. Kind of see the taxiway lights now. Add some power in. And we're going to get ready to take control. Okay. And it's my airplane. We're going to make right traffic, runway 20. Go ahead and lower the gear. Just see the runway there. And November 3773 Sierra is on the downwind, runway 20 for a full stop. We're going to go ahead and one more on the flaps.
Runway landing. Gear is down for runway landing.
Go ahead and kill the alarm.
Runway landing. Gear is down for runway landing.
Turn left base. And we got lights. Go to 70%, or sorry, go to half throttle. And November 3773 Sierra is turning final, runway 20 Kathmandu, full stop. Gears down. Winds are calm. As soon as we drop that power off, does it ever drop like a stone? Let's keep that power up. There are no PAPI lights, so this is straight visual. And we'll make it. Power off.
Landing
Oof. Into the beta. Not very good. Did not like that landing, that's for sure. Didn't land with my landing lights on either. Really bad. Alright. Let's clear the runway. Kathmandu traffic, November 3773 Sierra is down and clear, runway 20. Strobes off. And we'll go ahead and reduce to high idle. Protect our engine here. Alright. We'll go ahead and set the parking brake. Go ahead and turn the taxi light off. Leave the nav lights on. Leave the strobe light off. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and turn bus 2 off. Turn the pilot and passenger. Turn the oxygen off. We don't need that on anymore. You can have pitot heats can come off. And the panel lights can all come off. Go ahead, turn the auxiliary bus off. Fuel pump off. Avionics master off. Generator off. And we can go ahead and set ourselves up. Feather the prop.
Engine off time logged. The flight is finished. It has been monitored by on-air.
Alright. Fuel shut off. Turn the tanks off. Battery and switches. Okay. So all that done. Landing rate was very hard. They didn't like that. So we did all right. Not fantastic. Okay. So if we go to our aircraft, and we should be at VNKT. Let's see what we've got for jobs at the current airport going back to Lakula. And it's trying to figure that out. Okay. By the way, are you ready for 26.4%? Just that one flight gave it a jump. So let's look at going back to a specific airport and the ICAO that we're looking for. Let's see if we can find recently closed. Reopen close tab. Yes, okay. Yetifer takes off from VNLK. Tenzing Hillary. VNLK. So let's go ahead and type in VNLK. Lukla. And we're going to go ahead and query. Anything going to Lukla? No jobs going back to Lukla. Well, that's unfortunate. Well then. Let's go back to the aircraft. Aircraft details. Oh no, I did that wrong. Let's go back one. Let's go ahead and prep a flight. VNLK. We'll go ahead and fly that back. Yep. We're going to start a flight without any passengers or cargo. We'll go ahead and start tracking it. Alright. And back in the sim. We'll reconnect the Twitch chat because for some reason it thought that was a good idea to disconnect it. Go ahead and turn our battery on. Turn our beacon light, our nav light on. And we're going to go ahead and low motor the engine because what we're trying to do is we're going to dry motor the engine to try and get it down below 150. So we're at 275. We need to get it down below 150. before we can start. But in the interim, let's go ahead and get our fuel supply ready. And we'll unfeather the prop, and that'll help pull some more air across the engine. So now we're at 210, 205, 203, 190. We're almost there.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
$800, $799, and it's coming down. So it started a little bit hot, but not as bad as it could have been. So we're going to go ahead and pop over here. Oh, not procedures. We want to grab the flight plan. We're going to grab our menu. We're going to invert the flight plan. Oops. Menu. Invert the flight plan. Enter. Okay. So we're good in that regard. We've got ourselves, we're going to clock it up a little bit to high idle. We're going to pick up our flaps because we didn't do that during shutdown and we should have. Go ahead and turn on our taxi light. Turn on our inertial separator. And we'll worry about PO heat as we taxi out. Go ahead and take the parking brake off. Go ahead and taxi our way back to the active, which I think we decided was 20. You can see the sun's coming up, so that's nice and pretty. So we'll go ahead and follow our taxiway. So it was at 25. We raised it 1% just on our own. And if we go to the home of On Air, homepage of On Air, or no, we go to the event, sorry. Want to make sure we're going to the right place here. If we go to the event, Our score is 3 now for Yeti Fur. I'm not sure how many candies I have to craft or how many candies I get to craft. But we're going to go ahead and switch on our landing light, strobe lights. Go to first notch. Increase our fuel flow up to the full limit. We're going to increase our altitude up. We're going to be looking for 13.5. Actually, we're going to be looking for 14.5 because we are westbound. I'm going to keep that power just under the limit. There's 60 knots. We're going to rotate, hold it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Easy does it on the stall there, buddy. Oops. Gear up.
Gear is unsafe. Check gear. Gear is water landing. Gear is up for water landing. Water landing. Gear is up for water.
Okay. We're going to increase our or decrease our flap setting. It's going to allow us to accelerate a little bit. We're going to turn our right crosswind. Come down here, we're going to grab our indicated airspeed. We're going to have that set for 100. Go ahead and set our autopilot. Go ahead and turn to the left. Watch that ITT. ITT is still hot. I'm going to set here for our intercept course. We're going to grab nav, and it's going to start the interception. We're going to go ahead and continue our climb up. Turn that off. Center of the field at 5,900. Igniters are off, fuel pumps on standby. Check that auxiliary bus, and we'll go ahead and get our creature comforts going again. And we'll just watch for that crossing of 10,000. So we're back on the GPS track. And now that we're over 1,000 above, we can turn the landing lights off because our RA is reading 2,200. So we're good. Climbing at 450 feet per minute. It's a little bit slow compared to the regular Flodiac, or the regular Kodiak. But it's not too bad. Couple of things we want to take care of now as well. We're going to turn on our pitot heat. SPAD dot next, Bravo throttle quadrant, APN switches. This is TA's gradual set. Engine, switch light, cabin, glare shield lights, panel lights, fuel pump. Okay. We're 7,500 feet. We're doing all right. Climbing at 300 now, 200, 100, not climbing at all. So we're 8,000. Crossing 8,000, we're going to turn on the inertial separator, Hang on, let's see if that actually works. That should be this switch. This switch is lights, okay. This isn't working. Oh, so inertial separator has changed then. Okay. APN switches. This has changed to a different value. That's the trick. Switch bindings are different. Circuit breakers, oxygen, ELT auxiliary bus, the reading light switches, tank selectors, harness levers, landing light, stall warning, starter switch, 012, ignition switches on or off, fuel pump, potentiometers, EIS 500, cup holders, and armrests. Starter switch, stall warning, circuit breakers. Okay, so it doesn't have the inertial separator. Oh, we're at 10,000. Okay, so as we pass through 10,000, we'll turn on the oxygen. Want to make sure everybody's comfy. And we'll go ahead and turn off our inertial separator. Now just to test. Nope, that doesn't work. Okay. SPAD dot next. Now the sun is out. As it's cresting over the top of the Himalayas there. Let's go ahead and zoom out. Alright. So we're still climbing. It's just taking us a while. $12,000. What do we got? 12,000 feet. We're almost there. moving. And of course, as per usual, I've just discovered YouTube didn't get updated because Streamlabs isn't doing what it's supposed to. It only updates correctly on Twitch, which is upsetting. This is an ongoing problem, guys. I don't know what to say, what to do, what to say, what to do. It's unfortunate. Oh well. We'll have to go back and fix it in YouTube later. Title is wrong. So I made an acquaintance out here in the real world with a guy who actually owns one of these. Seems to love it. Must be nice to have the money to own one of these, but it's it's definitely a heck of an aircraft. Had a lot of trouble with the update, but now we're doing alright, so it's not so much of a big deal. Must be locked for takeoff and landing. Alright. Add that to our checklist this time. Only climbing 300 feet a minute, so we're barely going to make it to the top of the climb before we got to start coming back down. Coming down in this thing is easy. Throttle it back and let it run. Cargo securement points. Can't see much, but can see a little bit. And here we come. We're just hitting the top of our climb now. (14,500 feet over top of the Himalayas, and as you can see, that doesn't clear all of them. We're still below some of the peaks. We're not after vampire ingredients. We're after Yeti fur. Got another 3 to do. Or at least we will have another 3 to do shortly. Because that reminds me. Go grab the Yeti fur. Only 3 more jobs, so we'll take those. 1, 2, 3. And if we look at our pending jobs, what do we got? Yep, 3. Cool. So yeah, we're still chugging along. Chug, 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 chug. Chuggity chug, chug. Be nice when that sun's kind of out of my eyes. Do. Okay, that goes that way. Oh. One mouse click, two. Like that's your only position? Okay. Ugh. Okay. There we go. That's better, somewhat. No, not really. Now I know how Skylar feels. Oh, we can try. This thing is just trucking us along now. Let's see, 112 says we're doing 140, and we're doing just shy of 150 over the ground. What are we, 15 miles? Just over 15 miles from the field? Yeah, we're gonna have to do that thing again. It's gonna be a much nicer approach into the runway during the daytime, though. I just want to get over that ridge there. I think that's... is that the one, or is the one after it the one? I'm not sure anymore. Definitely pretty territory. Don't want to fly a small bird though. Flying too small a bird up here, get you killed. $15 miles. Yeah, so we're 20 miles out. I think that's supposed to represent a river, but they didn't do a very good job drawing it. And 060 is the approach heading. So we're going to go ahead and plot that in. Alright, let's see here. Looks like this ridge might actually be too steep. We might have to turn to the south. Because it is over 10,000. Yep, I'm not going to make it over top of that. So we're going to switch to heading. We're going to go ahead and turn to the south. And as we're crossing within 1,000 feet of that ridge, we'll turn on our landing lights. We'll aim to just wiggle our way through here. That should let us through. Well, with that being said, let's try and cover over the next one. So 14,500. We're 10 miles from our approach. Gonna zoom in again there. Now the arc will show us 7.5 miles. That'll show us real close. So now that the sun's up and nice and high, we'll see if that helps or hinders being able to see where the field is. Gonna start throttling back here. I'm gonna drop first notch flaps. And this is where it's gonna start to get interesting. We're gonna keep the altitude up. We're also gonna reduce the speed. Our approach is right down there. I'm going to go ahead and lower the gear. And now with the flaps full out, landing gear, or landing lights on, we're going to go ahead and grab our shoulder harness. We're locked in. Add in a little bit of power. Cause I'm free, free falling. Descending down real fast now at 2100 a minute. You can kind of see on the edge there where our approach is. Let's go ahead and set our heading back to 060. Our full flaps, add some power back in. You can see our runway's there now. Just re-verify landing gear, or sorry, landing light is up, gear is down. Approaching at 92. And almost a free fall dive. Turning in now.
Runway landing. Gear is down for runway landing.
There's our advisory.
Runway landing. Gear is down for runway landing.
Cancel the advisory, and we're gonna throttle this thing up. And flare, power off.
Landing time logged.
Okay, landing taxi strobes off as we clear the runway. Stuff blocking a couple of the spots. Looks like they want us over here. And there we are. Parking brake is set. Come back down to low idle. Everything cool down for a minute. Turn off our taxi light. Go ahead and turn off the oxygen system. Passenger and crew comforts. Okay. Visors are off. Pitot heat's off. Auxiliary bus is off. Avionics bus 2 is off. Avionics bus 1 is off. Our 628 is there. Alright. Let's go ahead and pull
Engine off.
fuel off.
The flight is
Battery and alternator are
It
off.
has been monitored.
Lights are off. Alright. So now we're ready to load up. We can go ahead and load that. So we're at 27.6. Let's go ahead and set up a flight. We can only take 3 jobs at a time. We won't need fuel because we're loaded up on that. Let's go ahead and load all of them. Still got 1,000 pounds available. And we're at 80%. So we use 10% to go, 10% to come back. We're doing all right. Let's go ahead and validate the fuel and payload. Load up the cargo. Got a couple minutes to go there. And there we are. Fuel is loaded. So go ahead and get the flight started up. We'll start the tracking. You know what? Let's take a look at the flight data. Flight data. 85 pounds, 95 pounds, 69 pounds. Let's see if loading up our weight, payload. Payload is 340 pounds. Or is our weight off? Like, did we mess up the weight somehow? Nah. Alright. So again, go ahead and get ready to start up. So to do that, we're going to get our Garmin loading up, and we can see we're 452 degrees on the ITT. The internal turbine temperature is still too hot to work with. I'm going to reconnect the Twitch chat. Go ahead and Unlock that. So we're going to go ahead and turn our beacon and our nav on. And we're going to start dry motoring the engine again. And what that's going to do is pass air over the engine and help cool it quicker. While this loads up, we're going to go ahead and go into our flight plan. Click menu. We're going to invert the flight plan. And then hit flight plan. That's going to bring us back. Checking our temperature, we're down to 275, 272. We're in the 260. 250, 235, 210, 200. What's our outside air temperature? Outside air temperature is 9 degrees. 184. Down to 170. 160. 150. Let's see what happens if we inject.
Your flight will be monitored until you
Oh, it'll start like that? And what's it temp out at? Nope. Kill the fuel. Keep dry motoring. Gonna try and bring this temperature down. Okay, so without the igniters, if I get it down to 150, can I start it back up? We're gonna try one more thing here. Come on, don't tempt, don't tempt, don't tempt. Ah. Buddha Lodge, Lukla. So this is the problem with the hot start of this aircraft, is it will not cooperate. Once it's decided that it doesn't want to go, it doesn't want to go. And you just gotta kind of grin and bear it. It's like, that's the igniter. That's the fuel pump. It's cabin lights. That's not the ignition. Okay. Okay. Still up in the 600s. So we're gonna dry heave this bugger. I'm gonna try and do it without sparking it. So we got no fuel going in. And if we introduce fuel, we don't get a start. Okay. We turn on the igniter, and we introduce fuel. Do we get a start? We do. And we temp out right away. Alright, so we're just going to temp out no matter what. So let's just call it what it is. It's busted. Let's just call it what it is. It's a dead flight. We're going to have to reload. It sucks, but it is what it is. And unfortunately, this is the only way to fix this aircraft. You cannot reset a failure. And with that, I think we're going to call it here for a little bit. I'm going to check time, check food, that kind of stuff. Been running for a little while now, probably about a couple hours. And we'll see how we make out. Oh, 2 hours, yep. Alright guys, we'll